of this decree is appointed Director General of the National Ports Authority. The appointee shall be entitled to the various benefits approved for by the regulations in force, and this decree shall be registered, published according to the procedure of urgency, and inserted in the official gazette in English and French. The next decree appoints Madame Ayuketa Pamela, who is from the date of signature of this decree, becomes the Deputy Director General of the National Ports Authority. And the third decree appoints Mr. Eboa Efa Yves Christian, who, with effect from the date of signature of this decree, is appointed member of the Board of Directors of the National School of Administration and Magistracy, ENAM, as the representative of the Ministry of Territorial Administration. And the President of the Republic also hereby orders as follows: Friday, the 14th of May 2021 is declared a public holiday throughout the Republic of Cameroon. This order shall be registered, published according to the procedure of urgency, and inserted in the official gazette in English and in French. And all of them have been signed by Paul Biya, President of the Republic. They were amongst the first to jumpstart the voluntary vaccination against COVID-19 in Cameroon, and today they were back on it for their second and last doses. They are the members of government who, together with their team captain Joseph Dion-Gute, received the second doses of the jab at the auditorium of the Prime Minister's office. Our Star Building correspondent Christian Cheatam now reports scores of members of government answered present at today's rendezvous.
No strict protocols, no speeches, and no explanations for this second phase of the special vaccination campaign against COVID-19, organized for members of government and members of the diplomatic corps. It is straight to business, and Prime Minister Joseph Dion-Gute, the first to receive the second dose. The yellow vaccination card attests to the completion of the vaccination process. Other members of government followed, each receiving the second dose of the corresponding vaccine they received 3 weeks ago. The exercise is also meant to encourage Cameroonians to snap out of vaccine hesitancy.
We have today about 45,000 persons who received the vaccine. We are going to strengthen our strategy, our communication, explain the objectives of the vaccine. The special groups, which is the teachers and security corps who want to be vaccinated. I think we are going to ask the head of the government to allow us to vaccinate all of these persons.
The Minister of Public Health says the COVID-19 situation has stabilized in Cameroon over the past weeks, but warns that vigilance and the respect of protection measures must continue.
Blood banks in Cameroon are being stretched to extreme following the yawning imbalance between the high demand for blood and the paucity in existing stocks. The Regional Blood Transfusion Center in Yaoundé, for instance, is reporting a drastic shortage in the number of voluntary donors, which only contributes in increasing the pressure on blood banks. As Yoti Kale Lisanga now reports, caregivers are running helter-skelter in the nation's capital in search of blood that are not readily available.
Disappointment and frustration fill the air. These caregivers have patients in need of blood transfusion.
I'm with my patients in the urgence. I don't know how to have a blood, so I'm in depression.
The blood bank here, unfortunately, can't meet the demand of the sick.
Well, main problem today is the loss of voluntary donors, blood donors, because with COVID-19, voluntary blood donors don't come, even if it come in our blood bank.
In the absence of voluntary blood donors, family donors are solicited.
We have replacement donors which we call family donors. That is very, very difficult because when you come with your two donors, we have retested donors. Your donors can have about one infection, syphilis, HIV, or hepatitis.
Yes, I've bring more than 10 persons, but it's difficult because those persons, they are sick, they have only blood for themselves.
Age and weight are also factors that make for an eligible blood donor.
You have between 18 to 65 years old, more than 50 kilograms, and you have to have your ID cards.
In the first trimester of this year, the stock in blood banks dropped to 10,000 pints as opposed to the normal 15,000, and associations are doing their best to woo more voluntary givers.
We do a lot of sensitization on social media, and we are accompanying the donors to the hospital. It's free.
This regional blood transfusion center, affiliated to the Yaoundé Central Hospital, supplies to other hospitals in the area and its environs.
Before we continue, we'll give you a reading of this other communique coming from the Secretariat General of the Presidency of the Republic. And it reads, the Minister of State, Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic informs the public that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the President of the Republic has decided to cancel all official ceremonies marking the 2021 edition of the National Day. The head of state urges Cameroonians to strictly observe government-prescribed social distancing measures during the commemoration of 20th May as well as the celebration of the forthcoming religious feast days. He recalls that despite our country's commendable performance in the fight against COVID-19, the pandemic is a tragic reality against which we should endeavor to protect ourselves by complying with barrier measures and getting vaccinated. And it has been signed by Ferdinand Ganga, the Minister of State, Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic. Yaoundé, the capital of Cameroon, was today overwhelmed by last-ditch preparations as the Muslim community gears up to celebrate Eid al-Fitr that marks the end of Ramadan. Muslims could be spotted here and there in the town shopping for food, dresses and other Ramadan feast goodies to give thanks and praise to Allah for having seen them through the one-month period of fasting and deprivation. Cynthia Saptala captured the pre-fest atmosphere as it prevailed in Yaoundé today.
The moon may not have been seen, but religious leaders have confirmed the month-long dawn to sunset fasting ends tonight. For the Eid festivities tomorrow, many Muslims were seen downtown Yaoundé shopping, some for clothes and shoes, others kufis, thwaps and tunics.
Bought children dresses, we sewn dresses for them. You can see they have about 5 different types of dresses. We bought shoes.
At Halima Ibrahim's home at the Bricketerie neighborhood, the menu for tomorrow has already been decided. Food items have been bought. She expects family, friends and relatives for a meal.
As you can see, I got up at 1:30 a.m. this morning. After performing the usual nightly prayers, I had to commence with the baking of this cake you've seen here.
While some focused on a change of hairstyle, many were also seen at the local henna designer for a beauty treat, and others rushed to the tailor to collect requested attires. But before the celebrations at home, the Eid al-Fitr will begin tomorrow at the mosque with morning prayers.
Here at the Chinga Mosque, we have taken the necessary dispositions. There will be social distancing, wash hand points, hydroalcoholic gel, and security as well.
It is the second time that the Ramadan feast will be celebrated on the territory during a pandemic, and to ensure the safety of all, Muslims are urged to feast in full compliance of COVID-19 barrier measures.
The Muslim community in Marwa is also rounding up preparations for Ramadan tomorrow. Effervescence climbed to fever pitch today in markets and shops with last-minute purchases, while mosques and other prayer grounds were being retouched for tomorrow's events. As Henry Tato Ekambi reports from CRTV Far North, imams have prescribed moderation and strict respect of the COVID-19 barrier measures as the Muslims go feasting.
The 25 prayer grounds chosen this Wednesday for the Ramadan prayers are already preparing to receive Muslims. The latest communique signed by the Lamido of Marua, His Royal Highness Bakari Buba, states that many mosques were chosen for the first time in a bid to stem the spread of COVID-19. In the markets, those who had not bought everything needed to give the feast the pomp it deserves did some catching up this Wednesday.
I have many things, particularly those to make my cake, so I am prepared for the feast.
The sellers are also all smiles as money keeps coming in.
We can't say business was 100% successful, but we thank God.
Since the Ramadan feast is not all about eating and drinking, the Muslim clergy say the followers of Muhammad should also continue obeying Allah during and after the feast.
The Ramadan is meant to build Muslims spiritually, so our brethren should not abandon the good spiritual attitudes.
Muslims have also been exhorted to feast with moderation.
While the Muslims go feasting tomorrow, the end of Ramadan, their Christian counterparts will be commemorating the ascension of Jesus Christ to heaven as recorded in the Bible. The day comes up on the 40th day of Easter, that is 39 days after Easter Sunday. Alice Bay now reports on the symbolism of this day for Christians.
At the St. Inas Loyola Denkulu Catholic Church, a clean-up campaign has been organized. Christians are anxiously waiting for the message on the importance of Ascension Day.
The day of the Ascension, Jesus turned back to the sky to show us how to transform our family, our life, like God wants. And now he has finished his work. He was sent by his Father God, and now when the mission is finished, he turned back.
40 days after Easter, Jesus told his disciples to continue with his ministry on earth until his return.
We are the member of his body. We are the sons of God. We have to continue his work. God knows all our problems, and he sent us his son Jesus to show us how to change the world like the Holy Spirit wants.
As Christians live in the hope of Jesus always being with them, even though physically absent, they are enjoying to abide in him in faith and their works.
Onto our special May 2021 special page. The green, red and yellow flag of Cameroon is one of the most emblematic yet sacred symbol of national unity. From a strictly civic and legal standpoint, the flag commands honor and respect and is void of any profanation. As we open our special May 2021 page, Mukwele Prince Willa Duma gauges the role of the national tricolour in sustaining and consolidating national unity in Cameroon.
Le Cameroun est debout. Cameroon in full integrity, represented by a floater of our colors, the national flag.
The flag is not only the cloth. The flag is what permits to every Cameroonian to understand that he is in a modern country.
Everywhere you find a flag, it means that it's Cameroon.
And because the symbol of national pride bears the aspirations of an entire people, no fooling around is permitted.
If you suspend your flag without taking care of it, living under the rain, for instance, or to tear it yet, the punishment goes from 6 months up to 3 years.
From the summit to the base, the Cameroon flag is hoisted to guard the national psyche in a synergy of purpose, unity.
One flag for every Cameroonian. From the 10th region and in the constitution of the Cameroon is indivisible country.
The flag is the spiritual unity of our country.
In celebrations like in losses, honor given to the country's flag is indisputable.
Every Cameroonian, when the flag is being raised, have to stop his march and to put his hand
The green, red, yellow, and Lone Star, Cameroon together since 1972.
The Gandura, a three-piece weaver, is one of Cameroon's most respected cultural attires, originally worn by the people of the Sahel area during special occasions. Today, it is seen as an element of national unity as it is fast becoming a national costume. In the last of our series of reports which flaunt the country's folk costumes, Gerard Nanje Yambe takes us to discover this hand-woven fabric.
An attire of 2 or 3 garments with the bigger and longest worn over a pair of trousers. It is known as the Ngandura or Bubu. The traditionally Sudano-Sahelian attire has crossed the northern boundaries and settled into the fashion habits of Cameroonians from different ethnicities.
I have many customers here. They are not necessarily Muslims. People from different backgrounds solicit my services, including Christians.
Distinction, honor and royalty are some of the labels affixed to the attire. National identity speaks for itself.
Many people now choose this fabric because it's more fashionable and gives them a responsible look and not necessarily for religious purpose. The customer chooses the design of his choice and we do the sewing.
When a man puts on the bubu, he looks more mature and commands respect.
For many, the tunic is one of the trademarks of the oneness of Cameroonians, a people with a common destiny. And what better way to express this than in style?
Lots and lots of audio and visual archival material telling the story of the advent of the unitary state in Cameroon are being carefully preserved at the Cameroon Radio Television. From audio tapes and digitized visual documents, still very jealously kept for the interest of researchers and generations to come. CRTV Center's Irene Manti Ayonge reports on these living memories of national unity in Cameroon.
The journey to the National Day of Cameroon dates back 49 years ago when Cameroonians voted for a unitary state as opposed to the existing federal state. The news of the government choosing the 20th of May as Cameroon's National Day to commemorate President Ahmadou Ahidjo's abolishment of the federal system of government in favor of a unitary country in 1972 was received with much joy and enthusiasm.
At that time I was somewhere between Tombel, Kumba and Limbe and Boya, and when the referendum took place, we were all excited, as all young people are. We were excited that our country was going to be more united.
49 years down the lane, Cameroon has moved on with optimism and great strides.
As Cameroon gears up to celebrate its 49th anniversary as a unitary state, the role the armed forces have played in securing our borders, especially hotspots like Garoua-Bula in the East region, merits attention. Since the outbreak of hostilities in the neighboring Central African Republic, the men in arms have been alert to ensure that the country remains secured from that end. Valentine Guamesia reports on the dexterity of the armed forces at the border town of Garoua-Bula.
The presence of these 137 soldiers from the Central African Republic who fled their homeland on Cameroonian soil, bidding farewell to their Cameroon counterparts at the border town of Garoua-Bula recently, underscores the delicate and Herculean effort that our military has been displaying in the protection of our national sovereignty.
The situation is under control, and we have to strengthen this tendency so that we cannot have any trouble.
The security challenges facing our men in uniforms in Garoua-Bula, which has an official refugee population of more than 30,000 from the Central African Republic, is further compounded by the daily undocumented people who make it across the border.
Security is back at our border with Central African Republic.
As Cameroonians look ahead to celebrate the 49th anniversary of our fatherland as a unitary state, the role played by our military protecting and ensuring our borders with the Central African Republic in Garabulai stands out.
Road maintenance, pipe-borne water and the construction of schools now stand tall as the visible signpost of what some mayors in the southwest region have been able to stamp their marks on 1 year after they were voted into office. And this at a time when other officials of the Regional Assembly are still struggling to cope with a rather tumultuous socio-political climate in the region. Some of them, as you get in the report that follows, are upbeat that they will catch up on their development agenda as at least before the end of their mandate. We have details in this report with Annabelle Ndike Ayang from CRTV Southwest.
Ensuring the population of the southwest region enjoys social amenities like portable water, infrastructures, and good healthcare system has been the preoccupation of mayors.
We have succeeded in putting a decisive accent on the maintenance of the earth road network that we are very rich in the city of Kumba.
I was able to bring back close to 1,000 refugees from Nigeria. We were able to supply boreholes to communities that needed them.
We have a water project that we have realized. We've constructed schools.
With just few months of work in the field, the president of the Southwest Regional Assembly says they have been preparing for their projects.
We have been holding so many seminars and workshops, capacity building seminars, to enable us put up a realistic budget for the Southwest Regional Assembly.
Meantime, the municipal and regional assembly actors attest that their successes are not void of challenges.
We are still having difficulty to have medical staff in our areas.
We also have challenges in making sure that absolute security, tranquility comes into Kumba.
It is believed that the projects earmarked for this year will all be executed.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.
And you are on to the 7:30 news on the Cameroon Radio Television, the CRTV, as we beam live from Yaoundé. After some renovation work carried out on the COVID-19 isolation center at the Douala Referral Hospital, COVID-19 patients in the center now have access to more quality services. Video cameras and emergency bells are some of the new facilities introduced to make their stay in the treatment center more comfortable. With his guest, Dr. Fernando Kempta, Baldwin Sama now walks us through the renovated center to discover more. Hello, Baldwin.
Good evening to you, Ben Menopufo. Welcome to the isolation center at the Douala Referral Hospital, where nobody has access into this isolation center without being dressed as I am. And we shall be looking at what has changed this isolation center with our guest tonight, Dr. Kempta Fernando, who is as Deputy Service Head in charge of the isolation center at the Douala Referral Hospital. Good evening to you, Doctor.
Good evening, Mr.
After some renovation work carried out in this isolation center here at the Referral Hospital in Douala, what has changed?
What has changed in our isolation unit is particularly three things.
The first thing we have changed is the possibility to give oxygen, the pure oxygen, directly to all our patients. That is the first thing. The second thing that we have changed is the possibility of video surveillance for all our patients, and the possibility equally to all our patients to have the ring directly in front of their bed to call directly the nurse or the doctor when she have some problems.
And who are some of the patients you receive here in this isolation center?
The change that we have made to when we receive the patient, we select only the patient who need oxygen, a patient where the severe phase of the disease, intensive care patient particularly, and is this kind of patient we receive actually.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fernando Kemta. Management for this hospital has put in place everything to ensure that there is adequate care of COVID-19 patients admitted here. There are 6 of them in the different wards of this isolation center, and our wish remains, just like yours, Ben Menopufong, that the different 6 patients who are here in this isolation center come out of here alive. Back to you, Ben Menopufong.
Very much Baldwin in your anti-COVID-19 gear. The country is looking forward to the completion of the Mengong-Sangmalima roads tarring this year. The decade-old project has been visited by the Minister of Public Works, who for the second day running has been inspecting major and construction sites in the south region of Cameroon. Emmanuel Nganu Jomese has also been on the Bulova-Mbalmayud-Simalen road being renovated, as you tell us, Joyce Kimbi for Waju.
74 kilometers Mengong-Sangmalima new highway carving itself out of the equatorial forest and bulldozed rocks. The project includes the construction of 30 meters long bridge over River Lobo and 5-kilometer urban roads in Mengong. Execution is at 80.5% with 54 kilometers already tarred. An economy of 725 million done to the benefit of the state from the initial estimate. Constraints like non-expropriation, displacement of Camtel fiber optics, a new network, and non-payment of bills found immediate solution by the visiting supervisory authority. Completion date has been slated for December 2021. Users already ply with admiration.
Before, it was not a road, it was a track. But now we have a road. It's shorter, we don't pass to center.
The Simalen-Mbalmayud-Ebolova road rehabilitation work is at over 91% constructed, with 27 of its concrete culvert finished. Visiting Minister Nganu concluded his 2-day mark sheet of road projects in the south on a satisfactory note.
The Cameroon Telecommunications Camtel is bent on setting the pace in promoting bilingualism through a Bilingualism Day instituted by the management of this parastatal. The Director General, Judith Sunday Achidi, launched the Bilingualism Day activities within the company recently, reiterating the fact that English and French are of equal value in Cameroon. Hannah Ikonde reports from CRTV Center.
The Cameroon Telecommunications launched her Bilingualism Day today. Camtel has chosen Wednesday of every week.
We're making sure that every Wednesday, all our staff, those who are of English expression should speak French, and those who are of French expression should speak English on every Wednesday.
Camtel, however, has adopted many methods to promote her bilingualism.
The Gazette, which is a magazine where we make known all our activities both in English and in French. We also have a radio program every Saturday in English and in French. We also have our website in English and in French. And even at level of the reception, you have English and French staff.
The National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism promised Camtel to provide assistance.
We are proud today to know that Camtel is respecting the recommendations that were given by the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism.
teaching the language, an important factor in the advancement of the bilingualism concept.
They can join the bilingual club. We can organize excursions with them. Why not? Just for the promotion of language.
At the end, the Canadian High Commissioner to Cameroon lauded the initiative taken by CAMTEL to promote bilingualism at the workplace.
I have to salute the example that's the leadership that's being shown by the Director General of CAMTEL in promoting and spearheading the promotion of bilingualism in a specific company.
Today, more than ever before, CAMTEL is leaving no stone unturned to promote bilingualism, which remains a requirement of the various fundamental laws.
And that's where we'll leave it for tonight. Thanks for the privilege of your company. See you tomorrow. Good night.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
Bonjour mon frère, bonjour. C'est ça que tu as ma personne. Je t'offre 2 au prix d'1.
Tu me gâtes là. Ma femme m'a demandé une pastèque à la maison. Waouh, 2 pastèques à ça.
Vraiment? Chérie, tu es content de cette année. Doublement heureux.
1 c'est bien, le double c'est bêta. Renouvelez votre forfait au dièse 111 étoile 0 dièse avant son expiration et recevez le double.
Orange.
Je suis Express Exchange, leader du transfert d'argent au Cameroun depuis plus de 15 ans. Via mes partenaires internationaux, MoneyGram, Western Union, Ria Transfer, Warremit et autres, vous pouvez envoyer et recevoir de l'argent partout dans le monde. Je vous accompagne aussi pour toutes vos opérations mobile money et recharge de crédit de communication. Rendez-vous dans mes 300 agences pour le paiement de vos factures d'électricité Eneo ainsi que vos droits universitaires, le paiement des frais de scolarité et frais de concours des lycées et collèges via la plateforme Compost Money. Parce que votre satisfaction est ma priorité, je vous garantis une qualité de service toujours améliorée, une disponibilité permanente des liquidités pour vos opérations. Express Exchange, le numéro 1 en qualité de service au Cameroun.
Bonjour madame, je sais ce que vous êtes venu chercher.
Hey, vous me connaissez bien, c'est vrai que je suis fidèle à Mayor.
Madame a raison. Regardez mes beignets comme ils sont beaux et bien dorés. Et mes poissons, pour la cuisson, je peux vous dire que c'est très bon.
100% extra raffiné, parfaitement équilibré. Mayor est une huile naturellement riche en vitamines. Et la vie est plus... Oh oui, elle est plus légère.
Mayor, je l'adore. C'est mon amour, mon trésor. Mayor, je l'adore.
Ça est que elle m'a donné, j'ai essayé et j'ai fait. C'est ça mon début.
La passion qui anime Mary Labesseng est accompagnée par une volonté d'encadrer la gente féminine et en particulier les déplacés internes.
J'encadre 10 filles et parmi ces 10 filles, il y a les déplacés. Il y a 5 déplacés. Je les forme dans la couture. Je les forme dans la broderie en main. Ce qu'elle est en train de faire là. Je les forme dans la broderie en machine.
Dans un contexte de crise, l'une des solutions serait l'autonomisation des victimes, surtout celle des femmes et des enfants. Dix femmes formées encadreront à leur tour 5 autres, ce qui permettra à un moment donné d'autonomiser presque toutes les victimes de la crise sociopolitique.